Hi, I'm Mandy Santiago, Executive Director here at Tyler Arboretum, and today we're going to explore Tyler's Pinetum, which is located to the southeast of the Old Arb and located on a plateau. On days where the sky is bright and there's a chill in the air, Tyler's Pinetum is a perfect place to enjoy the tree silhouettes and some of Tyler's open spaces. Follow me. We're frequently asked, what is a pinetum and how do you say it? Tum, a Latin word for pine grove, is the word commonly used to describe a tree museum consisting of mostly conifers or cone-bearing plants. But despite the name, Tyler's Pinetum has far more than just pines. We're home to spruces, firs, junipers, and sequoias. So you're probably wondering, why did we create a pinetum? Because it offers a sanctuary where scientists can study and our visitors can enjoy these diverse, contrasting, and beautiful trees. Dr. Wister, our first executive director, and his wife Gertrude Wister began planting the pinetum in the 1950s with the concept of planting conifers in groups of 3 as well as a single specimen. Today, this area is home to a diversity of wildlife, insects, mammals, amphibians, as well as a diversity of birds. Tyler has supported bluebirds for over 50 years through our Bluebird Nest Box program. Bluebirds are cavity nesters, meaning that they build their nest in tree hollows, in particular to trees found in open fields. Due to a loss of habitat, the bluebirds could no longer find enough nesting sites, and their numbers were in decline until citizens took action and built nest boxes for them. Our group of volunteers have done just that and kept detailed records of their activities. At Tyler, you'll see 40 bluebird nest boxes located in open areas just like this. We are also the first site in Delaware County to install such boxes. Please remember not to approach the boxes in spring and summer, as the birds will be busy nesting and caring for their young. Here we are at the basking circle right across from the giant sequoia. When farmers cleared fields, they would come across rocks in their way, and instead of tossing them aside, they would use the rocks to construct walls to keep their livestock safe. Most would stand thigh-high and laid without mortar. Our wall is artfully created in the late 1990s and serves as a basking area for snakes and other reptiles. Try spotting some in the summer.
Hi, this is Mike Karkowski, Director of Horticulture, Tyler Arboretum. I'm here to share with you a little bit of the concept of our Pinetum meadow mowing strategies. As most of you are aware, on the east coast of the United States, land really wants to be forested. So Tyler has to apply a fair amount of energies and labors to keep our fields into meadows and to keep them from reverting back into woods. When Dr. Wister had envisioned these fields in the Pinetum, he really wanted a sanctuary for birds, as well as a place to showcase these conifers in their natural beauty. His intent was to plant a single specimen along with a cluster or a grouping of 3 or more of these plants so that everyone could enjoy their beauty both as an individual specimen and as a mass planting. He was successful in creating a sanctuary for birds, and those birds really do enjoy the beauty of the Pinetum and the safe haven that it provides. One of the management strategies, however, is to keep the woody plants at bay. As these birds come and seek refuge in the Pinetum, they often disperse weed seeds as they fly away. This creates a seed bank of undesirable plants in this area that Tyler continually works to remove. An effective strategy for this is mowing. We use mechanical means to cut down the fields late in the season after all the plants have finished for the year and as they start to senesce into the winter. This allows the maximum aesthetic value for these plants as well as the safe haven for ground nesting birds and pollinating insects. Unfortunately, this strategy does lead and allow the plants to store as much energy as possible through photosynthesis at the end of the year, thus creating the cycle of annual mowing as a necessity. Tyler has used the strategy of controlled burns and grazing through goats in the past, as well as hand removal and herbicide treatments. All are effective controls and are used throughout the years to help keep these woody plants at bay. Tyler Arboretum installed the scenic loop in 2012 and 2013. It was part of the master plan project, which incorporates a pathway, paved pathway around the entire property, half of which was installed. This pathway primarily takes what was the green trail inside the fence. We did avoid some of the troubled areas, the root zones of the larches in particular, and try to take advantage of some captured views, in particular of the sequoia. Tyler Arboretum installed 5 retention basins, infiltration beds, and stormwater management devices per the requirements to capture our stormwater management on site. These areas have become frequent visitation spots not only for our guests but for our amphibian friends and insects that enjoyed the habitat that were created in these retention basins and infiltration beds. The main goal is to capture stormwater before it enters the stream in a slow dissipating manner. As has been observed this year, heavy downpours create problems of flash flood, point source discharge of stormwater into Rocky Run and Dismal Run on Tyler's property. These infiltration beds allow stormwater to be captured, held for a short period of time, and then slowly released into the system, whether that's direct penetration at the site or slowly released through an overflow system.
Hi, this is Dave Charlton. I'm a volunteer here at Tyler Arboretum, and I'm standing on the edge of the rhododendron garden and the Pinetum here to my left. And we're going to talk a little bit today about the different kinds of what everyone calls pine trees, but are really conifers. So right here I've got in my hand a white pine. And what you're going to see always with pines is that the needles are in clusters. They'll be in a little group of 2 to 5. And usually earlier in the season you would see a little paper wrapper, paperish wrapper around the bottom of that cluster of needles. If you see cones on the tree, and it's a pine tree, they'll always be hanging straight down. One of the ways you'll be able to distinguish one of the other conifers from a pine is if you see upright cones, you're pretty sure you're looking at a fir tree. So the fir tree is going to have shorter needles. They're going to be wrapped completely, actually they're going to be wrapped around the top of the branch, but not on the bottom. Now, a similar looking tree might be a spruce. Spruce is going to have those same short needles. They're going to be wrapped all the way around every twig. On a spruce, you're going to see that the cones are hanging straight down, but they won't have these long needles like a pine. They'll be short. Now, another really interesting and one of my favorite conifers in the Arboretum are the cedars. We've got a couple of cedar of Lebanon, 2 in fact, and a number of Atlas cedars. Now, whenever you see a cedar, again, it's short needles. They're going to be in a whorl coming off a short stem on the branch. The cones are upright, and they're pretty good size on a cedar. They'll be almost as big as my fist in some cases, and they're always upright. Very woody, very hard. They don't fall off. They fall apart as they mature. And the last one I thought I'd talk about is the larch, which is the Larix family. Again, short needles, whorled on a stem, with a little stem stub sticking up, and the cones will be small and upright.
Well, we hope that you enjoyed our tour of Tyler's Pinetum, and we'll be out soon to explore on your own.